So what's better, a VA or a PA? Well, I guess as in all things, it depends. If you're used to the dedicated one-to-one support of a PA or an executive assistant, then you might struggle coming to terms with a VA for the very reason that they're not sat outside your desk at your beck and call 20, I was going to say 24/7, but all the working hours. Because by definition, the VA contract is for a set number of hours per week or per month. And so as a client, you're going to have to get used to not getting an answer immediately. And if that's really not going to work for you, then you're going to have to really think about whether a VA is going to be the right route, because a client has to be slightly more disciplined in what they're asking for when they're asking it for, and dare I say it's slightly more self-sufficient, rather than just always calling out, where is this, how do I do this, this isn't working. They might need to work out how to do it themselves, but at the risk of offending some people, an awful lot of people don't know how to use their PA or their EA. It's almost like a vanity metric to be able to say, oh, my PA does this and my EA says that. So those people probably can manage with a VA because they don't actually need to have the person sat outside their desk, their office all the time. They just like to have it. And there are, of course, very odd occasions where businesses and executives do need full-time support, and perhaps where they're in a role where there's sometimes sort of regularly an element of crisis management. Say, something blows up and you have to be on site to be able to deal with it. But really, in all honesty, I don't think they're as prevalent as we might have believed prior to this lockdown. The flip side is that a full-time employee is exactly that. They're an employee. He or she is unlikely to have much experience running their own business. Generalisation I appreciate, but we have to go with generalisations so very often. And they're less likely to feel comfortable offering suggestions on strategy or potential new products or services, or potential ways of doing something differently to make it perhaps more efficient, or just perhaps more attractive to your clients. So it might be that your PA has done this in the past and been figuratively shot down for it, and then therefore they're hesitant to voice their opinion going forward. And most offices are very much a hierarchical society still, and there is still an element that you're just the secretary still. And as bizarre as that sounds to me, there's so much of that still about, and therefore it's quite difficult to get over that hump and become a valued member of the management team, which a good EA is. And as I've said before, a VA is a business owner. They understand strategy. They're more likely to speak out if they see how something can be changed or amended, adapted, made better. And, part of what they do is streamlining processes. And, that's like a goldmine to some businesses. Your VA could offer to produce a process manual. Your PA is unlikely to do that. So VA or PA, it kind of just depends on what it is you need. And with all things, the answer to the question is, it depends. But always bear in mind, with a good VA, you might just end up with an unofficial independent sounding board that you hadn't expected when you went down the hiring process.